Good morning, curling fans. Welcome on in. We've got another great matchup here in the Belgian Curling League. As you see right now, they're just doing, Blue Huskies are doing their first LSD. Hoping to get that one dropping in right on the button. It's going to come up looking really good.
Yeah, this is a very good LSD. I think they opened up very strong.
Yeah, that's going to put some pressure. Well, that's only the first one. And since we're looking at that's inside of the 2 foot, that's going to be 20, my guess, 28 centimeters. I like to guess. We never know.
Yeah.
It's touching the white, so we know that it's in a good spot.
Yeah, it's a very nice opening of a game.
I believe that was Kim who threw that one.
Yeah, it's a very nice opening.
Who's going to be throwing the next one?
Yeah, so prepping for the next LSD now.
I believe Danielle is setting up to throw it. So, oh, and I just noticed the Huskies are only playing with 3 this morning.
Yeah, yeah. Vele and Annemiek couldn't attend, so we're having a 3 versus 4 game today. I think that could be an advantage sometimes, because if you play 3 stones instead of 2, you have more sense of the ice, you have an additional attempt to build up your muscle memory, that kind of stuff. Yeah. On the other hand, you lack a sweeper, so there's a pro and a con in that situation.
All right.
I don't have that much sense of the curl, but
not playing a lot of curl on this. They are sweeping it now, trying to get it close. It's going to carry a little bit past the tee line, I think. Wow, a lot past the tee line. This is just like Thursday night for me, where everything looked like, oh, it's going to carry just a little bit, and it could slide all the way through. It does stay in the house, so they will get a measurement. That one is just in, so I'm thinking 150, 155, maybe 160. Let's go 160.
We have Dirk, our official Belgium Curling League official, measuring the stones, making sure no mistakes were made. Everything is noted down correctly.
He is also the Blue Huskies coach. Mm-hmm. Seems a bit unfair, but all right. So that is the LSDs for the Blue Huskies. Now the U18s are going to take the ice. They're going to go their 7-minute warm-up. So we'll let them do that. Maybe we'll chat a little bit more about them.
Yep. So I think the coach for the U team is Frank. Frank is a player of A Division team Takeout Tigers, but he's also one of the dads, or the only dad of the 2 of the players, making sure my English is correct.
Yes, yeah. So we know Frank quite well. He's a skip of our team. Him and I are both play for the Tigers, so we know Frank quite well. And yeah, his 2 daughters are playing with this team and training. So it should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, so while they're kind of setting up their practice, what do we know about the teams? Let's see who's in the booth. I think we have quite a nice audience today. We have 2 games in the morning. The morning session is also hosting a game, Canadians against Team Verreken, but we chose to broadcast or to showcase the youth team against the Blue Huskies. Both pretty interesting teams to show. I think it's the first time both of the teams get to be on Korea TV. Most of them have women. I think the U team has 1 boy player, but it's pretty much an all-female game this morning. Yeah. And maybe an interesting detail, in the Blue Huskies we have Kim, and then in the U team we have Mirte, which is a daughter-mother relationship. So we have a face-off, a daughter versus a
mother versus daughter. Yep. And Mirte is also the alternate for the, or one of the alternates for the women's national team.
Yeah, she was in the last European Championship because Annemiek, she missed out on the last European Championship because she was on pregnancy leave. So Mirte plays as alternates. Now they're preparing for the upcoming European Championships, so Alamik is rejoining the Blue Huskies as alternates. But for that one tournament, Mirte was the alternate at the European Championships, so she might know some of the tactics and strategies of the Blue Huskies. Maybe she knows how the team plays. She was part of training sessions, so that could be an advantage as a skip if you have insights or inside information. I'm not going to call it espionage, but yeah. But it should be an advantage, of course.
It will certainly help. It will certainly help to know the tactics and things. I think it's helped Mirte. You know, she's a young player. She's 15 and she's only been curling for a couple of years, but she's really grown a lot. You've seen her skill level just take leaps and bounds. It seems like every week she's getting better and better, and she's learning a lot. She learned a lot at the Europeans from watching the skip, watching that team, training with them, learning how the skip calls things, and to help her with this match as well. So I think we're going to see a pretty interesting match here. I don't think it's going to be just an easy walkover because it's
definitely not
a group of young girls playing or young women playing. I think they're going to execute what they can. Maybe they're going to lack a little bit on certain things like sweep strength, but I think they can make up for it on just executing what they need to do and going from there. So should be a really good matchup.
Definitely. I think if we look at the standings in the B division, this is the B division of Belgian curling. Wait a minute. This is still showing up the doubles, so let's go back to the booth and re-update the standings. But when you talk about B division, it's our biggest division. We have 8 teams in the A division and 9 teams in the B division.
And right now, Huskies and the U18s, they're sitting 4th and 5th respectively in the thing. Now, the U18s have played more matches. They've played 3. They've only come away with 1 win, but they've been competitive in each one of them. I think that this is their first season playing together competitively. They're going up against much older, more experienced teams, and so I think this year is going to be especially this first half of the season. They're going to compete. It's going to be tough for them, but it's something that they can use to learn, and they can see how matches are played, how it feels, what the difference is from when you're coming out for training on a Monday night for a couple of hours versus being on the ice for 3 hours. Having to stay focused, making sure you remember what you do. You can't retake shots because you mess something up. There's no training. So it really is, it is going to be an experience for them. I think they're going to grow a lot. I think it's going to help them in the end. So, but they're showing they've already won a match. So they can win. They can win at this level. They can do well. So hopefully they take nothing but positives out of this season. And that's what we're looking to see today, is just nothing more growth, more competitiveness, trying to get their things, learn how to execute under pressure. Because I think you'll see the biggest difference will be coming towards the end of the match when they've been out there for 2 to 3 hours, and it's what is their stamina. They're young, so they should have a lot of energy, but sometimes that mental focus doesn't stay. So we're gonna hope to see a lot.
Yep. What can we tell about the Blue Huskies? They have been a team performing in the B division. I think this is their 3rd or maybe 4th season they're competing in the Belgian Curling League. They never really had the chance to promote to the A division, but they are considered to be one of the teams that train the most. They have a lot of training hours. What's their ambition for this season? They have played 1 game against Wipe My Eyes, and if I remember correctly, that game came down to the last end and the last stone to bring home the victory. And now they're playing against the U team, but they're kind of facing off to the bigger teams in the B division later on in this season. But where do you kind of place the Blue Huskies in the first half? Do you think they have a chance on promoting to the A division?
I think so. I think with how they train for the Europeans, it really puts them in a good spot. Last season, I think they underperformed a little bit. They did really well, ended up winning the C pool at the Europeans, got promoted to B, but unfortunately finished very low on the table in the league. So it was a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde season for them last year. I think this year they're going to look to change that. I think they've been preparing a lot for the European Championships coming up next month, so that's going to put them in top shape. They've got 6 matches to play this week. So they start today, and then they have another match during the week, and then back-to-back double headers next weekend. So this is going to be a crucial week for them in their preparations for the Euros, but it's also going to set them up for the league, and they're going to know by the end of this week whether they did enough to get promoted up to the A division. So I think they can't take any matches off. They're going to really have to focus and play their best against everybody.
Yeah, because I think their top priority is to have a good performance at the European B division or the European B championships. But of course, if you're a national team, if you're training that hard, it should also be an ambition to perform well in the Belgium leagues and look to aim for that A division spot.
Right.
It will be harder this season. As you can see, we have teams from Luxembourg and Fury joining that really increased the kind of the level of skill in that B division, made it much more harder to get a spot in that A division. I think 2 seasons ago we had just 5 teams with 2 teams for promoting. We have 2 kind of promoting seats with 5 teams. Now the places or the attempts to promote are much higher.
That's my Julie.
Hi, very good.
Good.
Yep, we have Wim at the booth. Wim is the coach of Team Verreken.
Oh, you are busy now.
Yeah, we're live on
okay.
stream.
No problem.
No problem.
Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. No problem. We don't mind at all. Just doing a little introductions while they're warming up, and but yeah, we're looking for a good match today.
Yeah.
Wow, I hope so. Canadians.
Yeah, we're streaming the Blue Huskies for this first session, but the Canadians are playing on the B sheet, of course, and we're going to try to keep an eye on the B sheet and also communicate updates and score updates from that B sheet.
Well, Blue Huskies is nice against the juniors.
Yeah. I think that was a nice game to show the youth team, showing that we have youth players. We have a kind of a good build-up with younger players coming up in the B division, also competing in the Belgium leagues. It's nice to have younger players.
And a mother against two daughters.
Yeah.
That's also very nice.
Yeah, there are some kind of family relationships. We have 2 daughters with Hannah and Mona in the youth team, and we have Myrte, who's playing against her own mother, Kim. So that could be tense. I don't know how that will go. But
But they didn't talk about the game at breakfast this morning.
I don't know.
No. Big supporters of each other when they're not playing, but in the mornings when they're playing against each other, not so much talk.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, so I think they are getting ready to do their LSDs.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so why don't we swap back out there, and we will we'll get a good bird's eye view of what's going on.
Yeah, so we don't really have a tally light showing we're live on stream. We're kind of broadcasting, so sometimes that happens when people just drop in, say hello, hi Pim, John, what are you guys doing? Well, we're currently streaming.
That is the casual nature of streaming, and I love it. I'm all for interruptions. I'm glad we could have someone so knowledgeable about the game who can stop in. He knows all the teams. He's the coach of the Team Verreken, the men's national team, but he also does some work with. He's very familiar with the Blue Huskies and a lot of the members of the club. So it's always good to have someone like that just kind of pop in and say hello.
Yeah, Wim is also commenting on Eurosport for some of the curling games. So basically, we just had a celebrity on our stream.
Yeah. All right, so we have Hannah throwing. Is it Hannah or Mona? I think it might have been Mona. Throwing the first LSD. The sweepers aren't doing much, so they probably think it's a bit heavy. It does look like that's going to carry through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we noticed it with the second LSD stone of the Huskies, that those stones, they keep carrying even when they seem slow, they seem to carry pretty deep. So unlike the first LSD stone of the Huskies, this one didn't land in the house, which is no problem. I mean, it's not like that sets you up for a good game or a bad game.
No. We've lost many LSDs and managed to win, and we've won LSDs and managed to lose. So it's always feels good to start out with throwing a good stone. It gets you in the right frame of mind. However, it's not always a good indicator of what's going to happen. Okay, and I believe it's Frauke throwing that. I am not 100% familiar with all of the names of the youth team. I don't see them often. Their training schedules are completely different from mine.
Yeah, we didn't introduce Wart yet. Wart is also on the ice. He's one of the kids of the White My Ass team.
Yep.
White My Ass is going to be on stream later today at 6 o'clock.
Ooh, unfortunately, a good line. Just that's going to carry a little bit through again. Going to carry all the way through. So Hammer is going to go, or choice of Hammer is going to go to Blue Huskies. They'll probably take it.
Yep.
But yeah, Ward, he's been training for a couple of years with the junior team. You know, has learned quite a lot. You know, his father plays, his older brother plays. They've all relatively new to the sport last couple of years. And it's good to see that we're getting more people in and then more families, because that's the way we grow the sport in Belgium is keeping the, you know, getting, it's one thing for the old guys like me to compete and to be involved, but if you can't have your kids, if you don't have your kids coming in, then it's hard to grow the sport. So
yeah, also the youngsters team, they take it pretty seriously, because I remember they visited a huge training camp of the World Curling Federation in Norway. So that was, I think, a nice trip to also get some decent training from professional coaches.
Yep. Yeah, they really had a good time with that. You can see when they came back, you know, they all wore their t-shirts and jackets that they got from the camp, and they were really, you know, proud to show them off, and it's great. It's good to see them get involved. All right, nice little high five, little team cheer there. Get the
yeah, I think we just missed the Huskies high five. Do they have a cheer? I think they celebrate something
I
like
think
Go
they
Huskies.
just kind of game. Yeah, I not as exuberant as the youth there. And that's the one thing I love about the youth team, is that they do kind of show their emotions. Sometimes it can be detrimental, but it's still nice to see that they're having a good time, that they're enjoying it, that they're into it. You know, Myrta is very expressive. You're gonna see her dance and laugh and get angry all at the same time sometimes. Very demonstrative. All right, just opening up with the word is going to be the lead for the U18s. Going to just open up with the classic center guard. Frank coming in to bother us with his cold hands.
With his cold hands and his cold heart.
All right. Looking to sweep this one. They want to get this one close to the house. Might actually be going to carry a little bit more into the house. Ooh, got all the way deeper. I don't think they really needed to sweep that one if they were looking for a guard, but as is often the case, the first couple of stones of a match, even after you've played done the training, the warm-up, it's a little bit difficult to feel the speed of the ice. All right, Blue Huskies just going to take this one out.
Yep.
They want it to roll over to the side.
Just sticks on the edge of the blue.
Nicely done. A little biter could come into play later, but no reason for the U18s to worry about it just yet. All right. One of the big fears is when you throw one too long is that you leave it too short. This one does not look short. I think this one's going to be fine. Ooh, just trickles into the house. That's unfortunate. That looked like it was really good. It was going to stop just short. Unfortunately, carries all the way just a little bit in. So now the Huskies can just go ahead and take this one out. Caro van Oosterwijk, the skip from the Huskies, she likes to throw lead. So, just going to pop this yellow one out of the way.
Will it take out their shot stone?
Nope.
Oh, it tapped.
Oh, it tapped.
Yeah, they were unable to avoid that little tap. So for the viewers kind of watching the stream, good morning. It's a breakfast edition of curling. I think that's pretty nice to have a Sunday morning.
Except we forgot breakfast.
We forgot breakfast. Yeah, that's a bad habit.
My bakery line was too long, and we had a lot to set up this morning, so we're gonna have to figure something out. Maybe I'll have to make a call to my wife and have us bring something.
Yeah. John's wife, if you're listening, John skipped his breakfast. That's a very bad example. And if John's kids are watching, that's a really bad example. Don't.
They're probably still asleep. I was given strict orders this morning not to wake my wife up when I left this morning, so he might still be asleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nicely played center guard there. But it is going to give something for the Huskies to draw behind. Now, it's always interesting to watch these first few stones. Like when they finally start playing draws, it's like, how much does it turn? How much is it? What's the curl? What's the speed? Like that one just didn't really fall. I think she might have been a little bit outside on her line, but I think it's just way too much ice. Now, this is actually a potential. This is a good stone for
It's a typical hit and roll stone, I would guess.
yeah. Get this one to pop, just slide off the nose, let it slide underneath that yellow guard, and that'll be great. All right, so here we have U18's second Frauke. Whoops, a little stumble off the hack there. No worries, just reset and. She's got the sweepers on it early. She wants to make sure that this holds the line.
Right.
You know, gets the takeout, but unfortunately just sits on the nose, so it's going to be open, and it's going to leave the same shot for the Huskies. Yep, Caro's setting up for that same position. Kim will be throwing the middle three stones for Huskies today.
And this is perfectly executed.
Nicely executed right there. Hit and roll.
Don't forget to take notes so you don't have to
I am doing
watch
that right
the
now.
entire
Yes.
stream. Just to remember.
Yeah, anybody out there, if you guys see something interesting, go ahead and throw a comment in the chat. You know, hashtag SOTM. That kind of helps.
Shot of the match.
Shot of the match. Anything you like, really. I will go back and it'll give me a chance to look at it, to skip through to the good parts. Not that I don't mind hearing the sound of my own voice, but 3 hours is a lot of tape to watch to find some streams.
Yeah.
And I like to get these videos out, the shot of the match videos out as quickly as possible. So it would be ideal if I can get these out tomorrow. Maybe Tuesday. This is a long day, so I don't know if I'll be editing video tonight.
Danielle's showing that this stone is hard.
Gonna go a little bit deep. Yeah, I think that's gonna go through, unfortunately.
All right, so I'm just calling for a repetition of their previous stone.
So we're looking for a hack weight. I believe this is going to be a hack weight takeout. They just want to cruise it around the guard. I don't know. It looks like she pushed that a little bit wide. Don't think that's going to fall with that kind of speed. Right weight, just unfortunately not the right line. All right. Kim going with the same. I think they're going to try to split the house here. They've got that one biting on the left side, so they're going to be putting it, or on the wall side. I've started saying I'm going to use open side and wall side, or ice side and wall side, so that way so the camera angles change. So they're going to try to get this one over into the house on the ice side. Keep the house split, just biting on the front. Looks like Murta's going to try for that same hack weight takeout, giving a little bit less ice because it does not seem to be falling as much as they'd like, so... It's going to be hard to stick the shooter on this shot.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can get this one out, it's going to depend on what the Huskies do with their 7th stone.
So the U team also deciding to leave their guard, their center guards.
They swept it. Did they need to sweep it? Is that going to get it? Just catches it enough and gets it out of the house. Excellent stone from Murta right there. Frank liked that one. Big applause inside the clubhouse here. Excellent stone. As always, we have Danielle Baru as the 4th for the Blue Huskies, throwing the last stones. She is just going to try to curl this one around behind the guard. Don't think it's going to get behind the guard. And it's actually going to drop behind the T line.
Yeah, and gives the U team an opportunity to hit and roll. Caro not happy with the stone.
Well, do you hit and roll or do you freeze?
Yeah, that's also a good option.
I honestly think a freeze, but you've got to be right in front of that other red. I think if you're off a little bit, you can come. They could come in and just do a takeout. They'll lose that back red, but they can get the yellow out of the way. The shooter will probably stick, and then they'll score 3. So, but this is an important one for Murta. See what she's going to try to do here. A hit and roll would be great if they can get tucked in behind that guard. It's gonna have to fall a bit more. I think she's gonna get it on the nose. Just a little bit off the nose, and that would have been an excellent stone. So now here, I think the Huskies are just going to throw the same, knock it out, hold the shooter, score 3. Well, that's the plan. They still have to execute, but... Ooh, this could be a little wide.
This seems wide.
Oh, that is wide. Wow, a steal of 1 for
yeah, I think Danielle noticed because she was reaching for her head just when she released, so I think it was wide and hard from the start.
Yeah. That's like I said, you have to execute. There's a wide open shot sometimes. That's going to make the U18s feel pretty good. They got away with, that's a 4-point swing right there. That should have been Huskies up 3-0. Now the U18s get that 1 point, get that steal. That's got to feel pretty good for them.
Yeah, definitely. And that was very unfortunate because you have kind of a clean option to take out. And missing it is kind of making you lose the end like that.
Yeah, that's always tough. The Ward starting us off here in the second. I'm probably pronouncing his name too English. It's probably
No, it's
Ward.
fine. Yeah, what?
Ward. I always try to pronounce people's names the way it's supposed to be.
At least you pronounce my name correct, like saying Pim. Here in the Mechelen region, they tend to say Pim.
Pim. That's that I've not heard, but all right, nice little center guard. Exactly what was called for. Maybe a little bit higher than they would have liked, but still better than the first end where the stones was carried through. So it looks like they've started to find their weight, which is good. You'd like to have that in the second end or the first end ideally, but you don't want it to happen. Wait till like the fourth end before you start getting your weights. A little bit heavy on the first stones. It's going to carry right through the house. And so you're going to see...
Yeah, we're getting trolled on the stream again. We have Persik the Peach. Who the hell is Persik the Peach?
Well, that would be TV's Frank.
Yeah.
All right, so Marta asking Ward to try to come down onto the button. She asked for just a slight bit harder. Not much. I think this one's not going to have the weight to carry. They're just going to try to get this one over the line, and yeah, they'll end up doubling up that center guard there.
Yeah, so I just overheard Frank, the coach of the U team, saying they have an aggressive defense strategy with a double center guard.
So Caro trying to come around again. I don't know if this one has the curl. I think...
No.
And also the weight looks a bit long. I think that's going to go past the T-line. And Mertz is going to be able to sweep this into the back portion of the house. It gives him some backing to draw around that way.
Yeah, but do you want to use that stone? Or do you just want to draw?
We'll see. I personally would have chosen to draw from that side, but if you're a little bit heavy, you have that stone as backing. Merta choosing to come from the wall side. Maybe she feels that that's one of that's Frauke's better side to throw from, so...
Yeah, did she play LSDs? Because if she has some muscle memory from an LSD, that could be a reason.
She played the ice side on her LSD, I believe.
This is curling real nice.
Looks really good. They're going to try to sweep this one all the way, get that to the T line.
That's a very good stone.
In front. Oh, that's an excellent stone right there. This is a perfect stone.
Don't forget to take your notes.
Right there on the button, already writing it down.
Happy faces with the U team with this setup. Aggressive double defense guards. We're having a little team discussion with the Huskies. What do we do? Do we want to draw behind it? Do we want to take out some guards?
I think they're going to try to draw onto it. I think they're going to try to use that. It's on the T line, but most of it is behind it. So I think they're going to try to set it up, put something on top of it, and then maybe they can use it to tap that other one out next time. right, Kim's sweeping this one. She feels like it might be a little light. I think it's going to carry. But is it going to carry enough? And is it going to turn enough? No, unfortunately.
Needs some
comes up.
extra sweeping. This is where a second sweeper could have made a difference.
Yep. I mean, it does carry a lot farther than you think. I mean, that looked like that was going to maybe get into the blue, and they were able to get it all the way halfway white. So,
but it's open, so they could use it to hit and roll, and then line up.
yeah,
4 stones.
they could promote it to take out. Okay, Murta trying to put another one in there, just inside. It's coming from the other way. This is one of those classic situations. It's like you've got multiple options because whatever you do, the team's going to do the opposite. So you could have put a guard up in front of that red to kind of take it out of play, but then it leaves that whole ice side open, and so they're choosing to come over in the ice side, try to draw it in, get a second one in there.
Yeah, and even if it's a bit short, it takes away another draw option for the Huskies again.
Yeah. So
3 sweepers on the stone to get it as deep as possible.
it's going to come up a little bit short of the house, but it is going to guard off that that ice side there. All right, here's my first attempt at being correct and probably being wrong. Looked like Caro is asking for a draw, so they might feel like they can still draw it around those guards.
Yeah.
And inside that red. They could even potentially tap in off that red. So as long as this gets past the guard, which it
Wow,
does.
oh my
Wow,
God.
that's an amazing shot right there.
Taps off.
Oh, unfortunately,
Unfortunately, because it was very nicely kind of sliding.
a little bit heavy there. Wow. You can't get much closer to the guards than that.
No.
That was unfortunately just a touch heavy.
Yeah, Mitchell deciding to just guard it,
Yep.
put up a wall, defend the fortress, and steal a point because they don't have hammer.
Nope.
So stealing a point is an interesting option here.
It was interesting. Maybe with that last stone from Kim, that if they had swept it, that it would have hit that red enough that it would have done a nice roll and it would have stopped it a little bit. But there's always ifs and ifs and ands and all that kind of stuff is easy to say after the fact, especially when you're not trying to do it out in the moment. Make sure this one doesn't carry too
They want it to be a
far.
guard, so this might end up a little bit too deep. But I think it's still a good stone, right? I mean,
Maybe. Yep. Yep. It's
it still makes a draw for Huskies. I think
more
not
difficult.
possible. Is it?
I think it's still possible, but you've got to be right on the weight. It's got to be exactly right. So
So they're gonna clear up some guards, and now the kind of double guard situations are really in favor of the U team because they have to invest in 2 stones to just get rid of those guards. Is that something they should have done earlier on instead of waiting for?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I'm not sure that it would have been beneficial for them to try to do it.
It's a nose hit, so that means they.
Oh, and
Wow.
gives them a
This is really a
second
worst
shot.
case situation here.
Yeah.
So U team setting 2. They're also kind of connected, so much harder to take out now.
They've got good guards all over everywhere.
Yeah.
They could even potentially, if they wanted to, tap that yellow back onto the red, move the yellow out, and it would promote the yellow one inside as well. So
They kind of have the luxury to decide, well, what do? We have so much stuff going on here. Yeah. They could try to take out a red one and just have 3 stones sitting in the house and maybe go for a steal of 3.
yeah.
With all of the guards in front of it, if you just nose hit your own yellow one there, take out the red one, still makes it hard for the Huskies to decide what to do.
Yeah. The risk being mishit could end up putting moving some of their yellows in the back, but No, this is they're sitting in a pretty good spot, and I think what Murta is calling for is just going to be a draw inside, possibly a guard short of the house. Yeah, just try to block off that last little path to the button. Yeah. You know, if she throws it a bit heavy and gets onto that yellow, it could move that red one back, so...
Thinking time is not a thing.
Yeah.
We want those new teams, of course, to learn. Having this kept going back and forth.
Look at this. The first person to forget what stone it is was not me, but it was Murta.
Yeah, true.
Even I was starting to wonder why she was going down there. They still have...
Yeah. Murta is the John of the U team.
That's not true. I don't TikTok. Yeah, Murta lost track of the stones, so trying to get her bearings and go, okay, this is what we need to do.
Yep.
So
and now Wark remembers he has to help him sweep, so it's no problem. I mean, they're winning, so they're doing it right. Bram also looking at the youth team's game. They want to draw
I'm afraid this one might be a little heavy.
Well, if it's heavy and
But
it nose hits,
it's
then
going to tap on that yellow. I think it's going to tap on the outside of the yellow. It's going to push that in.
that's also a good option to push it in.
And that's going to give them a third.
Wow.
So
A third with 2 backing stones. So that's really... I don't think that was intended, but it was a really strong stone.
That is a good one. Let me see. What was the time on that one?
Opens up the gap a little bit to draw. And if the Huskies can draw and freeze it against the shooter stone, they might reduce their lead from 3 stones down to 1.
Well, you can notice that Caro is pointing. There is a gap between those 2 yellows, those 2 yellow guards, that she could throw in a takeout, and it would do a lot to get rid of those, you know, rid of a couple of those yellows, and possibly even all 3 of them. They come up on the ice side of the center line.
Right, now we have the Huskies going over to have a team discussion.
Kim going down to give some stern words to her daughter.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you?
You're grounded. Taking away your phone for a week.
Right, so now they need 3 players to discuss strategy.
I think Danielle wants to go see what she has to throw.
Yeah.
I think she is the one who's going to have to throw this stone, so I think it's going to be up to her what she feels more comfortable with. Meanwhile, over on sheet
over on sheet B.
over on sheet B,
Yeah.
let's see. It is Team Vareka took 3 points in the first end. And second end is getting down to the last stones. Right now, it's a clear house. Oh, no, it's not Danielle that has to throw it. Sorry, I lost track of stones, but Murta lost it first. That's not my fault.
Yeah. John's lost track of stones. Once
As I
again.
was saying on Thursday, that's going to be a thing. We'll have to have a little chat predictor where they can come in and before the match guess how many stones or like how many times am I going to be wrong, and then how many times am I going to lose track of the stones.
Yeah. So they end up taking away one of the guards. The thing that really was what they planned for. Now that gives the U team an option to just close the gap. Yeah. I think they want to close it.
Just want to throw that draw in there. Guard
Imagine if they could do a steal of 3 already, stealing that first end.
That would be so huge for them. Really, really big confidence boost. She's looking at that if she carries it long, she might take that red, but
Yeah. And also down on the hack, Broca was taking one of the red stones instead of the yellow stones. Luckily, Mona just spotted the mistake. All right. Going for a guard. Guarding your 3 points.
Now, if this one carries long, it's not necessarily the worst case scenario, too.
No.
It gives them a fourth one inside if they can get it there, but I think they really want to shut this down.
Yeah.
Is that going to... It might have just over curled. It's still going to make it difficult to get in. It's still... I think it blocks in. They would have to play something off the yellow to have a chance to get on the button, but I think...
And there's still a little bit of room to kind of squeeze it in between those two yellow guards just down on the screen, but not easy to decide what you're gonna do. I think Huskies down to their last 2 stones.
I honestly think they should try that takeout up the ice side. They could get rid of 2, if not all 3, if they hit that one right. But I think maybe they're afraid of it would only hit 1.
Mm-hmm.
That the top one would jam onto the back would go, but it would leave the back left, but it would leave the back right as well. And they'd probably lose the shooter.
Well, if you kind of force the team to think hard on those decisions, that's always a sign that you're doing well, right?
Yes. Yes. Ooh. Looks like we're getting a little bit of network issues here. Dropping frames. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're getting dropped frames on the network. Not happy about that.
Well, they're streaming another match that nobody's watching, so...
Yeah, that's the network stuff that I'm talking about. So unfortunately, we seem to have some technical difficulties dropping frames. Hopefully, it solves itself. It's on the network, so it's not much we can do about it on our end. Apologies for that.
Well, this needs sweeping. But it will get in between those guards. Takes away 1 of the stones from U team, but they're still sitting with 2.
Yep. Well, and it left that gap open, so honestly, I think the 18s that Murta needs to be looking at that and trying to close that gap down. There you go. That's where she's pointing at. She wants to put something there, and that's what she should do. Is that going to fall enough? That looks quite outside.
Well,
Frank's,
if they tap in their guard a little bit, that could help close that gap. All right.
yeah,
Now this gives Huskies an opportunity to still win this end, because I think if they get in between and
yeah, that yellow is, I think, sitting behind the T line.
yeah, so I think they can reach.
And a nose
dolly.
hit,
Yeah.
nose hit gets rid of both of those yellows, and then would possibly give them, or not a nose hit, but a this slide off nose.
Important stone, because you don't want to give away 2 points. Allow your opponent to steal 2.
It's gotta fall. Okay, there
It's
it
in between
goes.
those guards, so that's fine.
It's all it needs to
So-
do.
Oh, a slight deviation.
Wow, just
I thought it was going in between
it
the
looked like it
guards,
was
yeah.
dropping. I thought that was a good shot, but that takes just clips that
Okay, so
stone.
that's 2 points for the U team. A steal of 2.
Yeah, that's got to feel good again for them. They're going to be looking really good on that.
So now we're having a small debrief. Oh. So preparations for the third end. And there's something going on with the ice. I don't know why there's a little break. John's also coming over to see if they can fix some of the cam issues we had with one of the mobile phones. And the U team setting up to kick off the third end, leading 3-0 with 2 steals in a row. And opening with a center guard.
Ja, maar er gaat probleem met die DSO's. Als je niet weet hoe het is, is geen replay. It's just the network is te traag en het is buffer. We waren op 44. Niet te veel. Ja, ik heb die camera afzetten omdat ja, het werkt niet.
And this is slightly touching the blue nose. See, carrying deeper into the whites. So Huskies will opt to take it out. Focus on Garrow's head, going for the low slider. Frank wants to say hello to his sister. I don't know if his sister is watching. This one needs to fall. We'll take out the guard, of course, or we'll take out the shooter stone. And Daniel sweeps out the yellow one. So second attempt for a guard. We're just calling for make sure it's slow enough so we have a guard and we can use it as a guard.
Yeah, this is that thing I was talking about earlier. You throw one a little too heavy, you overcorrect the other way.
This
And it
comes down
up
to
just a bit
short, unfortunately. So it leaves the initiative to the Huskies to decide how to build up this end.
Yep. I think they're going to bring this one into the house. Try to keep it in front of the tee line.
Right? Good stone.
Yeah,
I think that
excellent
was
stone.
what I wanted. We're just going for a takeout.
Marta also watching the action over on Sheet B.
Important. Needs sweeping right from the start. We're just going for the line.
A lot of times they'll sweep because they really want to make sure that they hold the line. Looks good. It's going to roll sort towards the middle. Gets the job done. Excellent stone. You know, Husky's just going to take this one out. Try to roll the shooter over. Oh, no, just slides by. Another opportunity for the U18s to do something here.
Yep.
What do you do in this situation? Do you guard it?
I think you guard it. I mean, you don't have hammer, so you have something in the house.
I mean, they do have the option of starting to, you know, if you start splitting the house, it forces Huskies to take out and gives them the opportunity, you know, the 18s to kind of control how the end is played. But
yeah, and
this is also a valid strategy. It's a good strategy, I think. Just keep it over there.
I think Huskies missed, I think, 2 open takeouts so far. So splitting the house and kind of forcing Huskies to play those takeouts could be a nice strategy. Especially right after the Huskies missed the takeout, maybe that gets to stick in their heads. Like,
Yeah.
but this guard is actually very good.
It's a little bit higher. They can still get around it.
Yep.
I think. Yep. She's gonna have Kim draw around it, freeze up against it, I think.
A small detail, I also always like how Kim kind of winks just before she throws her stone. She closes one eye to kind of focus on the line. Yeah. But I'll take it as a kind of winking to the broadcast booth, saying, "Don't remember the stone. This might be shot of the game."
Ooh.
And this is also a guard, so they kind of benefit. The U team again benefit from this stone, and now they have a better guarded position.
Yep. So Murta's just going to call for center guard here, something else to block off the center of the house, but also keep that stone in the house protected. It needs to fall, and it's also quite a bit heavier than...
Yeah, if it's too heavy, you might want to just sweep it through so the Huskies can't use it for anything. They can't use it to hit and roll or whatever. Just or leave it just in the back end of the house. You know, I think Huskies can't use this stone.
Not really. It's too deep now, so... Yeah, you see Murta there just kind of giving some signals to Mona just to settle down a little bit, stay calm, a little bit less power. Hopefully the network issues have stopped. It seems like the dropped frames are less and less.
Just past that guards.
Another one that's going to be just a bit light.
Yeah,
They
it's a
really
little
wanted
bit
to
light.
get that one. They wanted to get that one down frozen on the yellow, and it's just coming up a bit short. So it's going to give the Inter 18s just another chance to throw up a guard and
They're sitting in a comfortable seat here. They have 2 shooter stones. They have 2 students sitting shot with some nice guards in front of it. So they can just kind of add in guards to the game and make it harder for the Huskies to get a result.
oh.
All right.
A little bit wide, but good
wide,
line or good length, good weight. I think just a little bit wide, but it still closes up narrows up that gap on the center there, what they can and can't do, but not quite enough. Maybe if that was fully inside that tram track, that would have made things much more difficult, but I think they can still draw into it.
Yeah, they go for a second attempt to draw. Seems like inside. Carol's calling for a line, so I kind of going by her directions.
And it's going to clear that first guard. Is that going to get around the second? That's going to just tick off the second one. Murta's going to try to sweep that one out of the red.
Yeah. Well, they can use it. They can come off the center line and just kind of use it.
Yeah.
Take
But
it out.
is that shot? That is the question.
Not really sure. I think yellow ones is still a shot. It seems to be.
We have a question from Annemiek Houskamp. Als een stede het wit achter het huis terechtkomt, mag je deze dan weghalen of zit
that's an
deze dan
interesting one.
nog in het spel?
Yeah, so if it's kind of too deep and it's just sitting in the white, but it's not touching the house, is it out of play, or can you still use it because it could be backing, or you could maybe use it to nose hit and
Yeah, it depends on how far behind the house is. I mean, if you nose hit it and the shooter stops and it's biting the house, then it's still usable. You could also potentially hit and roll to get onto that back edge if you need to. So it's not necessarily out of play.
And Carol looking to see which stone's shot stone. It's hard to tell from where we sit at the boot. My guess would be yellow.
The way I'm looking at it, it feels like it's yellow.
Yeah.
But it's we don't have that above camera angle to really get a good idea. Carol's looking at what the possibilities are. Is not sure what there is.
Daniel saying open it up, so that would mean, I guess, they're not laying shots. They just want to open it up to have an attempt to score in.
Yeah.
Because if yellow shots and the UT manages to get one guard on the center line, a high guard, then that really just kind of locks the game, I guess. So Daniel coming over.
Yeah, the U18s are looking very strong this morning. They've been playing quite well. You know, benefit of a couple of lucky ricochets or lucky stones, but you know they're still putting the pressure on Huskies. They've not. The Huskies have missed open takeouts this morning, and so that's not. You don't want to do that. You really don't want to be giving away points like that.
Yeah, the Huskies have made some mistakes so far, giving the U team advantage situations.
And then you're forced to be throwing takeouts with your 7th stone. And that's you never want to do that unless you're lying something you're trying to clear up stuff, but you don't want to be trying to clear it so you can have a shot. That's the...
Yeah, so they're going to start to clear up some guards. And then remember they when they cleared the guard in the previous end and ended up promoting one of Yellowstone's into a shot position. That's what they want to try to avoid this time.
Right.
Making that mistake.
Yeah, I think the absolute worst here would be... Where is that going? I think that's much more towards the ice side than they wanted. Yeah, it was well inside. Fortunate that it hit that red and took it away, because if that missed that top red, that was absolutely coming onto their own red. And that would have been a disaster, because you possibly could have lost the shot.
So Mirta's update to close the gap. Go for the steal.
Yeah, I think they have 2 options here. Close that center gap, potentially take away like a draw to the middle, or try to guard over that that red stone just in front of the right side of the house, the wall side of the house, but you can't choose both, so you got to take one and try to give them the more difficult shot to take. And really, they just need this stone anywhere along that center line. Even into the top of the house is not the terrible play. You just need to make sure it doesn't over curl. That's the only thing. If
a small tap on the guard, good.
Ooh,
Bounce it back to the center
not.
line.
And it's gonna just fall. Look at how much it fell just at the end there. That's it does close down the air, that gap between there. I don't think you can do just a simple draw, or you have to have really good weight, and they're gonna have to just miss the guard on the left and then pass by that guard on the right and just stay in there. But it's looks like Caro is setting up to promote that red. I think they feel like that's their best option.
Always tricky stones, those, because they have to be just perfect. Right weight, right line, right communication.
Right wind conditions. Make sure the sun's not in your eyes. Okay. Looks like that might just...
I think it looks good.
It's going to hit it, but it's going to be just a little bit wide.
Oh, yeah. Small disappointment for the Huskies. Not managing to promote this one. And now close your eyes and just tell by heart. How many stones do each team have at this point? Are they down to their last stone, or do they have 2? Do you remember?
Yes, they're done. That was the last stone.
All right.
You're the one
That was a trick question. That was a trick question.
Danny, het is nu 3-1, maar ze heeft juist 4-1 nu. They have juist de derde end gedaan, en het was...
Who's leading by 4-1? Is
4-1 for Team Verreken.
All right. A little debrief here.
All right, 3 steals in a row for the U18s. That's an impressive start. They're looking really good. You can see the look at Mirta. She's got a smile. Ward, they're laughing. They feel pretty good right now. But they got to make sure they don't get overconfident, because that can cause problems. Graag gedaan, Danny.
Yeah, they're a bit lazy to add that last score, but here's the
Never update the
situation.
scoreboards. Now they do. Well, yep, there we go. Gary's going to put it up, maybe. Yep. All right.
So there it is, 4-1. Confirmed. It's official.
Oh, we didn't update our scoreboards.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're kind of trash talking
There we
on the B sheet, complaining about them not updating their scoreboard, and we're relaxing. So 3 steals in a row for the youngsters teams.
Yeah, and that end, that was no gimmies, no accidents, no lucky bounces. That was all them. They played right, forced Huskies to make mistakes, which they did. Unfortunately, that came out that opening stone came out a little bit short.
Slightly short, yeah.
Just a bit outside. I don't think I'm going to be taking note of that stone for a shot of the match. Comes Caro in her classic peekaboo delivery style.
Yep.
Really low, almost hiding behind that stone, and then when she's let it go, it pops up, and here I am. So they're going to try to bring this one into the side of the house. Carrie's just behind the T line.
And I think that's not what they wanted.
No.
Kim signing, giving some apologies to the team.
They wanted that somewhere.
They wanted it to be a corner guard.
Well, I think the way Danielle was tapping her broom, I thought she might have wanted it in the house. But yeah, high in the house. Alright, so gotta make sure this one gets on that stone. Looks like it might be a little bit wide. Is it going to fall enough? I think so. That is going to catch it. Is it going to have enough weight behind it, though,
Yeah,
to
it
move
does.
it out of the house?
It does, and their shooter will stay, so it
Just does. Excellent stone there.
pretty happy with the stone. Because it puts the Huskies in a situation where they have to decide, do we take it out? Do we draw?
Looks like they're going to try to freeze up to the inside of that stone. Kim not doing any sweeping yet. She's just watching it. Wants to make sure it falls. Looks like it's got pretty good weight behind it. It just needs to get over a little bit, I think. Alright, it had the weight, just a little bit off on the line, so it is still open. Merta trying to decide what she wants to do with it.
Yeah. Well, let's
Let's do the same
it out.
stone, yeah.
Get rid of the rubbish.
You know, and this could give them a decent position over there too. If it rolls out in front of that other yellow, you could have two sitting over there, kind of out of the way, but they're kind of protected. I think that one might be inside.
Yeah.
Quite inside. Gonna just slide through the house. But with that... Oh yeah, the red's still there. The red's still sitting shot.
So Huskies can start to build up. Take some control. They had to play a little bit reactive to the situation the past couple of events, so now they can
That
play
gives them an opportunity to take control of this end.
Yeah, play your strategy, play by your strengths instead of having to adapt to the situation or adapt to the other team.
So they want this one top side of the house. Is this going to get past the T line? It's going to carry just a little bit behind the T line, yeah.
Yeah.
And And it does leave them a split house, so, you know, they've got to, this means that the U18s are going to have to start chasing. You know, if they take this one out, hit the shooter, well, I think Huskies are just going to come back and take that shooter out. Ooh, she looked a little bit inside off the slide there. I don't think that's going to get out enough. Nope. I think that's going to be inside. Also looks considerably light. Will that stay in the house? Will they sweep that through? Stays in the house. I'm not sure how that's going to help them, but that looks a little bit heavy. That might be able to get swept through the house.
Yeah, this one's
that's
definitely too heavy.
Another mistake there. They really wanted that a guard up in front of that yellow one. Interesting. Why? Murta opting not to take those reds out. I think she's just gonna play a guard here. Ooh, Mono.
Yeah.
Little stumble coming out. Normally, you're only allowed to rethrow the stone if you stop before the T line. But allowing her to rethrow that stone after that stumble off the hack.
I think players tend to be generous towards U team.
Well, I've seen that happen in the against the adult teams too. I think it's a gentlemanly or it's a I don't want to say gentlemanly because we also have women in the sport too. It's a sporting decision to allow a team to throw that. It's good sportsmanship, I think. You don't want to see somebody burn a stone just because they stumble a little bit off the hack. At this level, I mean, at the Olympics, I don't think they're going to be so generous, but I'm going to sweep this one, make sure it gets around that guard. I think that's going to be good. No, they just want this to fall.
Oh, this is a good stone. They kind of... Well, it's a little bit too deep, I guess.
Carries, yeah, just a little bit deep. They had to sweep to make sure it got around the guard, and unfortunately carries a little bit deep.
Yeah,
so now it gives...
If the U team manages to draw it in, they have free backing and they have their guards.
Yep. Ooh.
Are they going for a
They're
takeout?
going for a takeout here. Murta asked whether Mona wanted to throw a draw or takeout. Mona said takeout, so you've got to make sure this one gets around that
I think
guard.
it will fall too hard. It doesn't seem that hard, and it's already close to the center line.
Oh, they're going to sweep it. They are going to sweep it. Is it going to go?
Hit the
No,
guard.
it's not going to.
It's also not that bad to have that guard out of the way, I guess.
I think they would have been better off trying that draw. They had the backing, because now all that, that's all the Huskies are going to do is just put up a guard there themselves, and they're going to put something like short in the house, or inside the house, I think. It's going to make it harder to draw around. It does make a potential run back double open, but
immediate call for the line. Line is the essence here with this stone. They wanted to have it on the center line. They wanted to guard.
Actually, that looks heavy. That's gonna come down on the button. Although a freeze isn't bad, but it will be a little bit. Oh no, that actually stopped just right. That's not bad, but it does leave open a double.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it. Gives the team the option to double it out.
Honestly, I think they should, because I still think they would hold the shooter. They just need to make sure they don't need to be.
Yeah, you want to avoid having too much of those red stones in the house. Huskies already having 4 shot stones, so even kind of doubling, get rid of it.
Yeah, you don't want to be up 4 and then give up a 4 and suddenly let the team back into play.
A lot of people today at the venue looking at the games.
Good to see so many faces. We don't often get a lot of live spectators in here. We love it though. Always happy to have it, whether you're online or in person. Always happy to have more eyes on the curling. All right, so they're sweeping that. They got to make sure that they want it to be slightly off nose. Oh, it's going to fall just a little too much.
Well, no,
But it does catch it. Wow.
Take a note, John.
What
Take a note.
Great shot there.
A round of applause at the venue.
Shot.
Yeah, they hit their stones on the most crucial moment, so that was an important one.
Wow,
to have that double take out. I think I'm noting this down as shot of the match so far, and we're halfway after this ends.
I've got it written down. It's in my notes. We will be looking at all of them, but that one definitely stands out.
Yeah.
That was a. Honestly, I thought that was just going to fall just a little bit too much and miss that second red, but it caught it just perfect, and the shooter stayed. I don't think the shooter stayed shot. No, did not stay shot, but that's certainly helpful for them trying to keep Huskies from scoring 4.
I think this is also slightly offline. Danielle showing some disappointment right after the sliding. But no need to be disappointed, because it will
No,
still on the button.
Marta, you can't sweep before the T line.
That's a good stone. I mean,
That actually came out okay.
yeah.
But I think that maybe they wanted it higher, because now if Murta takes this out and holds the shooter like a nose hit, leaves it there and inside the other 2 reds. So I think they wanted this a little bit higher so that it didn't give them that opportunity to take it out. We got the fans with their flags inside.
Oh, wow.
Love to see that. Love to see the support. There you go. You see the flag waving in the background of the glass.
I'm gonna try to. I mean, they're taking some time to think anyway, so let's see if you can have some.
There it is.
Some footage. Oh. There it is. Fans rooting. Smile, you're on camera. Say hello to the internet. And happiness over at that side, but a little bit less happiness over at the Huskies coach side. Frowning faces.
All right, quick update from Sheet B. Team Vareka scores another one in the 4th, so now it's 5-1 for Team Vareka. All right. You're so busy watching what everybody else did. I missed the setup for this shot, but
So, Katrientje van alles, go, 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 Wartje and the team. So definitely rooting for the youngsters. It's
that's
Wart's
gonna
mom.
be a nice
close.
one. Is that gonna be? Ooh, that's close. I think red might still be shot there, but that's that yellow one puts it just close. But unfortunately, it's open, so I think that yeah, Caro's just gonna like try to take this one out. If she takes this one out and holds the shooter, they will score 4.
Caro's really shouting to sweep hearts.
Oh, that's coming inside. Gotta make sure that doesn't hit the red one. Oh, it's fallen. Oh, and is it gonna fall outside?
Oh, it's taken away,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
This is one of those high fives. How did they miss out on scoring in this end? And
That's incredible. Chance to score 4, and you get a steal of 1 for
I mean,
the under 18s. Wow, that is.
I'm starting to think this match is fixed at the point. I mean,
I don't think so. I
No,
don't
of
think the
course not.
Huskies want to play this way. They don't want to start their week off. This is a grueling week for them with so many matches, but it's their preparation for the Euros, and I don't think they wanted to start this off this way.
no, definitely not. I mean, 4 steals in a row, 5-0, halfway.
Yeah, and they had a chance to tie the match up right there with 1 stone, and wow, that's a 5-point swing right there.
Yeah, and this is really boosting the morale over at the U team. You can see the smile, the high fives,
Yeah.
and run on the ice.
All right, so
Little
we're gonna
break
have
here.
teams are gonna take a
A small break.
little 5-minute break between the ends. The fans are going crazy in here in the house. Yeah,
So yeah,
fans
over
are
at the
going crazy. You
booth.
can maybe hear it behind us.
Yeah. And we don't have a kind of mobile camera, but we see the flags up right behind. And
So the
proud moms, proud dads.
proud moms and dads, kids have been playing very well,
Yeah.
taking advantage of the mistakes. Yeah, you just you don't like to see the Huskies struggle.
No,
But you do
definitely not.
love to see that the kids are taking advantage of it. They are playing their best. And yeah, they're putting the pressure on them. They've made mistakes themselves, but the kids have made mistakes, but they've been able to limit them. They've not compounded mistakes. They've been forcing Huskies to try more and more difficult shots, and you see that they're just not quite hitting them. So I think the Huskies really need to regroup in this short intermission, figure out their strategy, figure out what they're doing wrong, and try to make some corrections because
Yeah, because they made some mistakes, but they also made very hard mistakes that really punished them hard. Like that last stone, just throwing all of their chances to win an end out the window.
yeah, that was the second end that happened, where the mistake compounded it even worse, because not only did they not get the stone away, they actually gave the end to the under 18s. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the last half of this match plays out. We're gonna see. I think you're gonna see them discuss. They're out on the ice right now. They're talking about what they need to do. Really trying to stay focused. The kids need to make sure that they don't get
They need to
too
stay focused as
confident.
well.
They stay focused that
it's still
second half.
halfway. I mean, a lot of stuff can happen. Remember, Huskies having a chance to score a forehand at some point, and if such a thing would happen, if the Huskies for some reason would open up with a forehand in the second half, it comes down to 5-4, and you have a completely different game. Then you have to reset your minds. Don't think the victory is already on your sides. Just kind of take it in bend by end.
You can see in the background, if I can figure out which way to point my finger, other way.
So
Little strategy session in the background. We've got this little tabletop game, but they often use that for setting up stones and looking at decisions and strategies and things like that. So, it's good to see them doing that. Like I mentioned in the pregame, the real interesting thing is how the kids are going to keep their focus for the full 3 hours.
yeah.
The Huskies have plenty of experience, especially being at the Euros, knowing what it's like to play these long matches, they've played 10 enders, and you play 10 ends at the Euros, so they're used to these really long matches, having to stay focused the entire time, where the kids have still just started to get used to playing 8 enders and having these 3-hour matches. So that last little bit, we're going to let them dance, and it's maybe like not the greatest TikTok dance ever, but
Yeah.
we do love to see the
They're going
crowd
to
get
go.
involved.
They're going for a YMCA, I guess, or I think it's AA.
I have
L?
no idea what they're trying to spell.
No.
OOL, OOC,
LOL, maybe, yeah.
AOL. Maybe they're big fans of the old internet service provider. I don't know.
Yeah. So I noticed we have quite a lot of viewers. Also, I kind of wonder, how do you guys think this match will end up? I have Danny asking for Paul.
Well, they could have been spelling Paul. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That could be the.
That
attempt.
could have been it.
Yeah.
But, who knows?
Was right
That's
catch.
probably the most likely.
Yeah. That's the advantage of having a short name like Paul or John or Pim. You can spell it out.
Yeah, you only need 3 letters.
Yeah.
3 people. But we're really glad to have all of you guys out there. Everybody watching and tuned in this early morning. You've got to be really big curling fans to tune in on a Sunday morning. We're happy to have you. We're proud to bring you some good curling this morning. We've got a full day. For those of you who don't know, we've got a full day of curling. So after this match ends at 2 p.m. Belgium time, we have another match coming up. It will be the Canadians against N19, an A division match that is certainly to be a good one. 2 veteran teams, consistently near the top of the leaderboards every season. So it's going to be an interesting match to see as well. And then later this evening, we have Daddy's Cool against Wipe My Ass.
So the guy from Wipe My Ass, hitting my mic here. And that's the kind of Zemst derby. You have 2 local Zemst teams. That is cool, Wipe My Ass. And I've talked to the guy from Wipe My Ass, and I've overheard them saying they trained specifically to win this game. They have one goal for this part of the season, and that's kicking the butts of the daddies. They made it very specific. They made it very clear. That's what they're here for. And they have the support of the youngsters and a lot of fans. I remember when Wipe My Ass is playing the venue, there's always a lot of.
They bring their fans.
Yeah. They have flags.
Yeah,
people waving.
The supporters come in, and it's always a great time when they're on the ice. So good curling matchups today. I'll be here all day broadcasting. Hopefully, I will still have a voice by the end of the evening. Hopefully tomorrow I don't have a lot of meetings, so I don't have to talk a lot.
Yeah.
But looks like the intermission is over, and they're heading back out onto the ice. So let's go out to start the 5th end.
The 5th end. Who would have guessed that the U team would be leading 5-0, stealing 4 ends in a row?
I figured they were going to be competitive, but I did not figure that they were going to steal 4 ends in a row. That is certainly unexpected. All right, Ward starting off. Got to make sure this one gets over. It looks a little bit light. Murta coming out. Nope. That is the disadvantage of taking that break. It's an optional intermission. You don't have to stop between the 4 ends, but some teams take it. But that is one of the things you kind of lose your momentum. But I think the Huskies really wanted to have that discussion, so I think they were going to force the intermission.
Yep. I kind of wonder what the discussion was with the Huskies, because we've noticed the celebrations here in the venue, in the canteen area. But the coach of the Huskies went on the ice to talk with the team, and I'm kind of wondering how that discussion went. Because what type of advice do you give to a team that made so many mistakes so far? I mean, play better is you can't just say, well,
you just gotta try to work, build up their confidence. You gotta remind them that they are capable of doing it. They are capable of making these shots. They just gotta keep their focus, and that's the thing. I mean, you there's not a whole lot of correction you can make other than just, I think it's a mental correction at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
you're not trying to teach them a new skill at this level. You're just trying to teach them, get them to focus. And sometimes you need that other person out there to tell you, that the outside voice to say, hey, calm down, relax. You guys have this. You know how to play. You know how to make these shots. You just have to have confidence in doing it, and go with it from there.
Yep. Yeah, because it's not over. I mean, of course, we had 4 steals, but 3 of them were just by 1 point. It's 5-0 seems hard, but if you score a 3 house or a 4 house, which is always a possibility, suddenly.
Yeah, they can shift really easily. You can really shift this. And I think that's where, Huskies are going to need to use their experience here to be able to make that shift. So Kim's sweeping this. They want to try to get this one into the house and get it behind that corner guard. I think that's going to get around. It's going to be a little bit open on that side, but it's still it's not wide open. There's still a little bit there. Yep.
And I have noticed that they switched skip at this point. Oh, no, it's because Caro is sweeping the first stones. Yeah, that's why Danielle's over at.
Yeah, no.
I always get confused when you have a skip throwing lead stones.
All right. Now,
zoom.
Yeah, they're just going to take this one out. Frauke has missed a takeout or 2 this morning, so a little bit inside again. She's been struggling, I think, when she has to give that weight with her slides. But is this one going to go all the way through?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to try to sweep this one out, get it there. No, it stays in the back of the house.
Back of the house, yep. So they can use that backing. That's also what Danielle called for.
Yep.
And that's not an easy stone because you have to estimate the weight of throwing a stone in the back of the house. That's normally not something you do quite a lot.
That's a little bit more difficult to do. I think what a lot of teams will do is you'll throw your T lane weight and then have the team, have the sweepers bring that back. So it looks like that's kind of what they're doing. I think this is going to carry a bit. It's not falling, so that's why they're not sweeping it. They want this one to turn.
Yeah, if it's just behind the T line, it gives an opportunity for the U team to hit and roll behind one of the guards, but it's on a dolly.
It's on the button. No, I think she's a bit on the inside again. Fortunately, also a little bit light. Is that going to get to where they need it to? I don't think so. It does get over, but they don't really need a corner guard there.
No, definitely not. See, this is where you kind of start to see a build-up for Huskies to score a bigger house here. Already having 3 stones in the house. And they have hammer. And they had a similar situation in the 4th end.
Yep. So they're sitting 3 right now. I think they're going to do what they can to protect that stone in the front. So yeah, they can freeze or shorten the house would be good.
Calling for a center guard, or
she's still thinking about her options, what they could possibly do. She wants to bring this one all the way down onto the button.
the wink. I'm gonna try to take a close-up if I have a chance.
Yeah, when we start adding emotes to the channel, we'll definitely have to get one to wink.
We have some memes already going on. We have the Peekaboo Caro slides. We have the
John's
Kim
wrong.
winks. Yeah, John's wrong. All right.
All right. Well, that was a little bit late and definitely off the line. And it kind of sets up a double screen over there, so
They could still use it to hit and roll. I mean,
they could hit and roll underneath, and I
they
think that would
don't
be
have to battle for the button.
And honestly, Zemst can play for forcing one. They don't need to try to score themselves. I mean, ideally it would help the more they score, the better, but I think that if they can force one, they take the hammer. Oh, is that going to fall? I think that's going to fall just onto those reds. But it does push that back red outside of the yellow. It does fall back on the yellow. Or out past the yellow, excuse me. So
Fortunately, I have to leave, but I'm gonna watch the stream. I'm gonna support my co-caster John, support the stream, and also I'm invested in this game now. I really want to know how this ends up.
you're going to have to watch the replay, and I will try to do my best to manage commenting on the game and keeping track of the cameras for everybody. Hopefully I won't miss any action. You might get some weird angles from time to time, but all right, Pim, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And I will be here holding down the fort. All right, gonna nicely clear out that yellow. Leaves that center a little bit open, but you know, right now they're still only sitting 2 for Huskies. Yep. All right, so now I have to take over the technical as well as the discussion. Sorry about that, you're missing this shot. Here, we'll bring it over to this thing. Sweeping it in. Want to get it past that top guard. Oh, it just clips the top guard. Slides it right by, but it does open it up a bit, so I think it's going to force Huskies to do something, put another guard up. And the risk is if this comes too deep, then they can try to run a double back. But yeah, that would have been an ideal spot to take that one out. Sticky green. Ooh, this one's a lot deeper. They wanted a guard here. This one's actually going to go through the back of the house. So that is yet another mistake from the Huskies there. Leaves this open takeout. And if this falls just right, they could get a draw behind they could get it to roll behind those 2 guards up at the top. All right, you see Ward setting up the broom. Just right where they need it. Looks to be a little bit inside. No, I think that one's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to get the rollover, but I think it is going to take it out. Just a little bit over. Oh, just needs to slide that a little bit. Oh, that is fantastic. See, what do I know? That one was fantastic, fantastic roll there. I was wrong earlier, too. You know, looks like, that's not going to fall over enough. And what does it do? It falls over enough. So excellent stone from Murta there. Doesn't get completely behind that top, but man, that is not an easy shot to do. They're going to have to do They're going to have to really squeeze this one by the those guards there. Ooh, they're sweeping this one hard. It's already falling. This one has not got the line or the weight. And worst case scenario, that sits in the middle. It is going to slide over. It's going to leave it open, but I think that definitely going to help out the youngsters there. Very likely they're just going to try to set something up, put it in the middle, try to block off the center a little bit, maybe put something in front of those guards. But the way they're putting their broom, I don't think so. I think they're just going to try to set something up in the center. There it goes. It's going to fall a little bit late. There it goes. Just covers up that that takeout from that hack side from the center. Now they do have the option, the Huskies here, of running either one of those reds back onto it. It looks like they're going to go for that middle red. Just run it black a little bit, try to get that yellow one out of the way. If they get this right, it could actually run back onto that back yellow, get both of them out, and they'd be sitting 5 in the house. Not sure this is going to fall enough. It's going to split that red, pass it through. Yellow still sits 1. Oh, yellow takes 1. I lost track of the ice stones again. Another steal for the under 18s. Fantastic end for them. They're just playing, putting the pressure on the Huskies, and yeah, Pim already laughing at me because he's gone for 2 minutes and I've already lost track of the stones. I really thought that was 7 stone from each team. I missed that the previous one was Murta delivering. So, all right, through 6, we have we've got oh no, sorry, through 5 ends. Zemst under 18s have 6, and the Blue Huskies are 0. And let me try to set up these cameras. There we go. We want this one. They're coming down this way. We're going to set up the far camera to point to the opposite end, so we get a decent look at the split. There we go. See Murta asking for a center guard there, and actually, do I have this right? I have this wrong. I have the cameras pointing at the wrong ends. I've already messed it up, folks. Sorry about that. We have the slide out. I'll figure out the cameras. I was busy setting up the cameras and microphones on the ice while Pim was setting up the presets, so I've already forgotten what they are. This is what happens when you get old. You start to forget things. All right, leading off with the center guard. I think we're going to see We're going to see a corner guard here from Huskies or into the house. I've been wrong before. Danielle trying to wave it over. Looks like this is going to be a little bit lighter than they liked. High corner guard here. Oh, this one's a little bit wide. Is it going to get into the house? They do get it into the house. That is going to come all the way down to the tee line. Wow, that carried so much deeper than we thought that was going to be. Even Frank was a little surprised. Unfortunately, with it being in front of the tee line, I think Huskies are going to try to hit and roll, get this one underneath the guards. Kim is already on the broom. Just trying to make sure this is going to get around the guard. It does. Danielle kind of indicating it's a little bit outside. Oh, doesn't fall enough. Sits open. It's going to allow Murtha to call for the same shot. Frauke has struggled this morning with her takeouts. Now this one looks a bit better. Like she'd been inside of a lot of them. I think this one's going to fall, but will it have the weight? That is the big trick. Okay, that's going to fall. Is that going to get onto the inside of the stone? That is, and it's going to roll over beautifully behind that top stone. Excellent stone there from Frauke. Way to bounce back from her earlier struggles. All right, that's going to force Huskies to start taking out those openings up top. You forgot the hashtag, Pim. And I wrote it down. Danielle indicating it might be a bit to the left. They want this to run back. Just goes by that yellow stone in the house. But it does leave it exposed, so I think we're going to see Murtha put up a, yep, calling for the guard. I think she wants this going to be on that left side, the open side of the, let's see, the ice side of the center line. I got to start using my own terms. And sweepers want to make sure this gets over the center line, over the hog line. I think that's the important part. Oh, is it going to get there? They're trying their best, and they just get it over. Now, it's not a bad stone. It's still a full takeout won't get there, but yeah, like you see, Caro tapping her heel. She is calling for a hack weight, and there's just enough of it exposed. I think they just got to, once they get it around this guard, that should fall and be able to tap that yellow out of the way. Yeah, Daddy, they did a good job of sweeping that one over. That was really close there. Is this one going to have enough time to fall? It's going to be close. It does get it. You see the two skips trying to sweep each other's stones out of the way. A little bit of an overlap. Shooter falls out of play. That yellow one stays just inside, but that is essentially out of play. You can't use that for anything. But it is still not completely over that back line there, so it stays where it's at. Sweepers are giving this one their all. They want to try to get this one over. They can get this one to the house. I think that's going to tuck in nicely behind that guard. They still got to get it there. Sweep it nicely into the house. They're going to get this one all the way into the white. Excellent stone there. Tucked in nicely behind the sneezing Caro. Slightly exposed there, but still a great job by the sweepers to get that down there and get it behind. See Danielle giving a little bit of advice, maybe with options of what they have. Looking at the possibility of freezing up against that yellow so that they could use another stone to take it out later. Because I think a hack weight's going to be difficult. It might... A hack weight would be really tough to get on enough on that yellow stone to get it to fall out of the way. Trying to sweep this one to get it down there. Maybe it's going to get outside of that yellow. Going to be a little bit heavy, so Mert is going to try to sweep this one as deep as she can. Gets it into the blue, so that yellow is still sitting in a pretty good shot. Marta looking for different options. I think she's going to try to sweep this one, have this one come around that double guard there on the right. If it gets in behind those guards, that could be a really difficult stone to do anything with. Yeah, sweepers are not doing anything with this one. If they want it, it's going to get around. Might be a little heavy. Yeah. That one's definitely a little bit heavy. Caro's going to gently sweep this one out the back and out of play. Not the worst thing to have it like that, because the worst thing they would have wanted is something sitting out open in front of the tee line that Huskies could have used to hit and roll onto the button. So while it's certainly not what Murta called, it was not a bad play to have it go out of play. Huskies coming back, just going to try to draw this one into the red. They need it to fall. Yeah, it's a little bit open. I think they can still try to take this one out. This looks like that's what they're going to do. I just realized there was a doubles match on sheet A. I forgot about that. We had Monrock Stega Campina against Campina. Campina prevails in 7 ends, 12-2 over Monrocks. They just want to make sure they get on this red. Might be a little bit outside. Yep, unfortunately, just outside. Caro immediately puts a broom up for a guard. So she just wants something to protect that red. And definitely not the worst case scenario here for the U18s to force one. Gives them back the hammer. Gives Huskies 2 ends to try to score 5 to get back into to tie this up. Ooh. This one is light and inside. Is this going to get over the hog line? It is just going to sneak over the hog line. It's going to tap that yellow one out, so it's definitely going to make it impossible to go for the yellow one. So Marta again, just going to be trying to take this red one out. They don't really care so much about the shooter sticking, but shooter could be handy for them. Actually, no, I don't think they want the shooter to stick. Yeah, they do. They do. My mistake. Because that would give them 2. And it would be... All right. That's going to get rid of the yellow. And gets rid of the red out of the back. Moves the red one even further out. So now they're sitting 2. And there is no clear line to the button. Excellent shot there from Murta. We've got the hammer. They just need to get this full white. They need to get around those guards, keep it full white, and to steal 1. Otherwise, it's a or to take 1. It's going to be a steal of 2, and the other for Zemst if the U18s if they can get there, or if this shot misses. Oh, she's sweeping it, getting on it early. That might be light. I think that's not going to get around the guards. And it's not going to have enough to push the stone in. Either of those guards in. Oh, yeah, just really wrong weight this morning on that one. And yet 2 more for the under 18s. Just fantastic playing from these guys. Up by 8 going into the 7th end. Huge pressure on the Huskies now. Oh, handshakes. Wow. This is a fantastic result for the under 18s. A real surprise. A shutout. 6 steals in a row for the under 18s, forcing handshakes after 6. Just a fantastic match from the youth team here. They played incredibly, got some lucky breaks, but really put some pressure on the Huskies, and unfortunately the Huskies were just not able to respond. I think Tim is talking to Murta, telling her that she's going to be grounded for a week, and no, I think just really good job by the under 18s today. Really fantastic, well-deserved win. Oops. Yeah, Danny, it's a really good performance for them. Yeah, they really stayed in it the whole time. Didn't let any mistakes get them down. They really stayed focused. They made corrections, and really good match from the under 18s. Really love to see it. You know, that's gonna really improve the rankings. Their standing. Huskies is going to give them something to think about. They've got 5 more matches this week. They're going to have to learn from everything. The fans of the canteen are giving them a well-deserved applause. So, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to take a break now. Yeah, those under 18s, they played fantastic. It's good to have all the supporters here in person and online. I have got 2 more matches to broadcast, so I'm going to save my voice a little bit. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, we've got another match coming up at 2 o'clock, so in about an hour and 45 minutes. We'll be back for that one. And yeah, thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate it. And until 2 o'clock, bye now.